Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's me, just another sim guy, and as you can see I am in Dirt Rally 2 looking absolutely fantastic in my Pimax Crystal Super. Took a little bit of playing with. I don't use Steam VR, so in this video I'm going to talk to you about the settings I use in Pimax Play and the settings I use in the in-game settings for the graphics. I'm going to show you that you don't need Steam VR and you can get really good performance by using Open Composite and Open XR as the runtime. So there are some extra bits and pieces added into a PDF. I didn't want to make the video too long, but if you want to go into the nitty-gritty of it, there's a PDF guide in the description that tells you how to make some changes in Windows settings, in the NVIDIA control panel as well. And if you want to delve into it, you've got Process Lasso to help prioritize some programs and dedicate cores, etc. But as you can see, it looks amazing. The video won't do it justice. As always is the case with these things, you don't see necessarily what I see, but it does give you an indication of the detail, the distance you get into the horizon, and how crisp everything looks up front. Anyway, so without wasting any more time, let's get into these settings guides for you. And don't forget to like and sub if you like what you see and you want to see settings for other games. And put a note in the comments if this helps you, and also let me know what game you want to see next. Dirt Rally looking absolutely fantastic. A really quick rundown of these settings for you. So in the Pimax Play app, we'll go to device. We'll just work our way through these. So the main device settings, as you can see, I'm on the 50 ppd version. I keep the lighting on auto, but in the UK I believe it's 50. I keep the refresh rate at 72. It works absolutely perfect for me. I don't see a lot of difference in 90, although it is a little bit smoother at times, but I like to give myself a little bit of extra headroom for recording. You might not need to do that, but for recording and streaming, just like to take the load off a little bit. Brightness I've got down to 90. I've set my IPD, and the rest of this I don't really touch. So hopefully that will make sense. In the general tab, OpenXR runtime is set to Pimax, not Steam. That's really important for Dirt Rally, but I never touch that. I leave that the same all the time. And I haven't touched anything in advanced. So that is that. Now, if we go to the Games tab for Dirt Rally, you'll see that I've got FOV at normal, image quality at medium, upscaling and sharpness are both at 0. I've tried to utilize quad views, the foveated rendering. I've left it on balanced. Seems to be good for me. I might play with it a little more. I'll update the video if I get better results, but for me, this is working perfectly. I don't use anything else down here except for the hidden area mask option, and the rest of it I don't touch. So that is about it. The only other thing to keep in mind is the order in which to do things. So we've got this set up, and obviously you set up the game and you choose the game. I do have Open Composite, the runtime switcher set here, and I use Open Composite. You can switch to Steam VR, but for Dirt Rally 2, Steam VR performance isn't great for me, so I always use Open Composite as the Open XR. I also have the toolkit open if I want to check frame rates and monitor stuff as I'm playing with settings. So, but I don't change any settings within that other than using the overlay tool, if that makes sense. But yeah, so let's get into the game. So once you've got to this point, you can start the game from the Steam library. Now, when you click on play, the option will say to start in Steam VR, but that's just because the UI doesn't change the wording. We're not using Steam VR. We're still going to use OpenXR. So that is just the option that we pick. And then we're going to look at the game. Okay, so my video didn't record me going through the menu with the graphics settings, so I've got the audio of that, which I'll play now, and you'll just need to follow along. Okay, so go over to options and extras, and then down to graphics. I have got the multi-sampling set to 4x MSAA. I've got the anisotropic filtering set to 4x. Under advanced, I have got shaders high, texture high, reflections high, screen space reflections are off, shadows ultra, night lighting high, ambient occlusion high, advanced ambient occlusion on, particles ultra, advanced blending on, weather high, crowd, cloth and mirrors all low,
vehicle details and track and object and trees all on ultra, ground cover high, skid marks on, God rays on, chromatic aberration is on, bloom is on, light streaks are on, and lens dust is on. And then the third tab is brightness, and you can do that to your own personal preference and your setup.
So just a little bit more to talk about on the graphics really. As you can see, this is the end result. I've tried to give it a bit of a challenge. So we've done a stage where I've got to put my lights on, there's a little bit of rain, so the reflections on the surface are really shiny. Now again, I'll stress, you don't get to see what I see, but you can look into the distance, you can see that there's no pop out, you can see everything's completely smooth. Dirt Rally has got, you know, until you get the settings nailed down, especially going through the forest, you see things pop up. So you get a lot of pop-up on trees and branches and things on the side, and it just gets really annoying and it's really immersion breaking. But I've got this set so sweet with such a wild field of view. Again, you don't get to see what I see, and the recording may not be an accurate reflection, but there's something about sort of sliding out with that wide field of view. You can slide out on the corner, you can look out the passenger window or the driver's window as you're sliding, you look to the side, and obviously I've got a motion rig, so that to me is the absolute pinnacle of immersion, combining the jumps and the feel of the bumps with the wide field of view in the Pimax Crystal Super. Absolutely fantastic. Do let me know in the comments if these settings have helped you. If you've got any questions, drop me a message. I pride myself on replying to all comments, so let me know if this has helped, and let me know if you've got any problems, and I'll see what I can do. But I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.